Hello, everyone. So, as we have our first snowstorm of the 2020-21 school year, a project that I want you guys to work on is a snow and or ice sculpture. So, we're still working from home. We don't know when we're coming back to school yet, right? So, what is something that we will all have eventually when it snows, that's free and easy to work with and sculpt with? Snow. So let's take a look at this project together. So you're going to have two options. One is a snow sculpture. So you'll document your process through photographs. You'll get out there with a pair of gloves, maybe a shovel. Who knows what else you need to create your sculpture. And then there will also be another option for those of us that don't like to be cold. So photography. You still need to go outside and take photos of snow, but at least you're not in the snow. Just make sure you have gloves on and you just go out with your camera, your phone, whatever you have to take pictures with, and focus on the elements and principles of art. So option one, snow sculpture. Let's take a look at that. So the element of art we'll be focusing on for this one is form. So form is a three-dimensional shape. We've been talking about line and how lines can create shapes, right? And they can be organic or geometric. So here we have a three-dimensional shape. So something we can walk around, something we can hold. It has multiple sides to it, right? And those can also be geometric or organic. So the materials and supplies you'll need to complete this project would be snow. Ice would be optional. You could use either or, you could use both. Probably going to want to wear some gloves. You're going to need a camera to document your process and a sketchbook for the planning stages of this project. Some optional materials you might want to include would be things you can find outside, like rocks and stones and sticks and whatnot. Possible tools like shovels or trowels, or even using a stick to help you get some detail or some texture in your sculpture. You could also use some food coloring. You can add it to a spray bottle with some water in it, spray it onto your snow and change the colors if you want to. You can also use balloons, fill them up with some water and let them freeze, and then you can use those shapes to create interesting sculptures as well. There's also some cool techniques where you can use bubbles, like the ones you would use when you were a little kid outside in the summer, where you can, if it's super, super ultra cold out, you can blow bubbles and they'll freeze instantly. So you can play with some stuff like that. So element of art, form. This is a piece by Andy Goldsworthy, who we learned about when we talked about our autumn mandala project. So here we see he takes little pieces of ice and sort of wraps them around this river stone and then has it elevated up against the other rocks. So the site, the place, the location that you choose to create the sculpture is important. How is the light going to affect your sculpture? How is the background going to affect your sculpture? And it also might help inform decisions about your sculpture. What do you want it to look like? If you're dealing with a large open space in a park, what could you build there versus, let's say you were on your in a garden in your backyard or something like that. So using snow, ice, and your creativity. So anytime it snows, go outside and make a sculpture. Plan out your ideas first in your sketchbook, and you want to document your process from start to finish using your phone or camera. And to turn in your project, you'll create a slideshow of your images documenting that process. So Andy Goldsworthy, we looked at when we did our autumn mandala project. So he has a lot of really interesting sculptures using snow and ice. And his sculptures are ephemeral. They don't last forever. They're not meant to last forever, right? I'm going to let you guys watch this video. Sort of has him talking about his process and shows some examples of his work as well. Another artist, a French photographer and sculptor, Alain, also uses snow and ice to create sculptures. His pieces focus a little bit more on shape and creating these sort of geometric and abstract compositions. And then using light. So in these two images, you can see how the light really impacts the composition and the sculpture. Simon Beck is a cartographer, and he creates these really intricate designs by using his feet, by walking in the snow. So here we see a contrast in texture. We also see these massive pieces in a large field. So this is something that could also be done if you have a plan and you're walk around in a perfect circle, right? So here's some other examples. You see the hand grabbing onto the light post there in the upper left corner. And so using the things you have around, how could your snow sculpture be integrated with the things you have around your home or town or whatever? This little hedgehog or porcupine, using the natural found objects that are laying around in your backyard. So we see pine needles here. You can make animals, you can make abstract sculptures. It's totally up to you. These are some more examples by Andy Goldsworthy. You can see an integration of like sticks and stones as well. You know, breaking up icicles and putting them back together into creating these really cool spirals. So yeah, the really possibilities are endless. For your planning phase of this, there is this planning page you guys can download, and I just want you to really think about your idea, your concept. What's the goal? What are you trying to accomplish by creating it? What's your inspiration? What will it look like? I don't want you just to go outside and just start slapping snow together. Have a plan, okay? We'll talk more about this later. Option 2 is snow photography. So if you prefer not to sculpt, then you should be photographing the snow and the ice. So you'll end up with a portfolio of images, so like 7 or so images that focus on each of the elements of art, and then also showing emphasis in each image. And as you're shooting, I want you to pay attention to balance. So there should be at least one example of each type of balance in your photograph. So one image using radial balance, symmetrical, and one asymmetrical. You guys can use Photoshop Express, which is an app you can download on your phone, or Lightroom also is a great app that you can download on your phone to take the pictures with. And then there's Photopea and Pixlr to edit, which are just like Photoshop, but they're online and they're free. And then you'll create a slideshow of your images and turn that in. So I'll talk more about this in a separate video, but I just wanted to give you guys some ideas on how to photograph snow and the elements of art. So all of that is in here. We'll talk about this as well, like what do you think is a dominant element of art in these images? Okay. And some more resources for you guys. So let's go back really quickly. So taking another look at these, the snow sculpture, you can use ice, you can use snow. Again, also anything else you can find in the natural world, from sticks and rocks, leaves, pine needles, whatever. It can be abstract, it could be real. You can make like an animal or a person. Totally up to you what you guys want to make, but the goal is to get outside, get off your computer, have fun, be creative, and explore a 3-dimensional sculpture. Okay, so have fun with this, and I gotta get back to class. I'll see you guys later. Bye.